Guys, I went out and I got these potatoes out in the garden. Not my garden, somebody else's, but they weren't using them, so I figured, why not? I lost a couple of them because I had to use them as weapons, but look, I got enough. I got enough for tonight's recipe, which is a simple mashed potato. Cooking with the vegan zombie. Potato, you know, you boil them, mash them, put them in a stew. It's awesome that I happened across red potatoes because they're one of my favorite mashing potatoes. Right next to the old-fashioned Yukon Gold, which is a yellow potato or a butter potato. But don't worry, guys, there's no butter in that potato. I like my mashed potatoes dirty, real dirty. So, I leave the skins right on them. So we're gonna make a nice dirty mashed potato. I'm gonna make a garlic butter to mash in there. Oh my gosh, you guys, it's gonna be so delicious. But let's get started by cutting these up. And what better to cut my potatoes with than this trusty old knife from a Cut Above Cutlery. This is my go-to knife in the kitchen, and it could be yours too if you use that coupon code ZOMBIE10 and get some great savings on the purchase of one of these bad boys. Details below. Since I'm gonna smash these bad boys, I'm gonna cut them into probably medium-sized chunks just so that they cook a little faster. Red potatoes cook pretty quickly, so you don't have to be an expert knife guy person to cut potatoes, or mashed potatoes. Medium saucepan, filled about 3/4 of the way, boiling water. I'm gonna add a few, maybe a tablespoon and a half of salt. I really want the salt to taste like the sea. And then I'm gonna add the old potatoes. Try not to burn your fingers off. Bring it back up to a boil, but if you're gonna put a cover on it, put it on halfway. Otherwise, water is gonna spill over the top and burn your house down, and you will die. I know you guys probably thought I was just gonna make boring old mashed potatoes, but we are gonna make a really delicious garlic sage butter to mash in with this potato to make it super yummy. I think you're gonna love this. We're gonna start with a half a cup of refined coconut oil, and we're gonna go on a medium-low heat. We don't wanna burn what we're gonna be cooking in here. Pour in 1/2 cup of that refined coconut oil. You want to make sure you use the refined. You don't want to use virgin oil for this or it'll smoke and ruin your life and you'll probably die again. Look, I've already killed you twice in this episode. We're going to add, for some color, for that golden color, 1/2 teaspoon of turmeric. This is going to be a salted butter, so we're going to add 1/4 teaspoon of salt. Now you can use 2 tablespoons of your favorite non-dairy milk. It could be soy milk, it could be almond milk. I have a So Delicious unsweetened almond milk right up in here in this little saucer here. I'm gonna pour that in. And then before we add anything else, we're just gonna bring the temperature up a little bit. We're gonna get a whisk. We're gonna whisk it. He wears many a hat. I wanna make sure that oil and the milk mix really well first before I add the garlic and the sage. I'm gonna turn it back down here. I want a very gentle bubble in this butter, okay? Because if it's too hot, you're gonna take your garlic straight to brown town and it's gonna be burnt and crunchy and gross. We don't wanna do that. So I got my garlic press again. If you don't have a garlic press, you can just get a really small mince on your garlic and that would be fine. I want this to be garlicky. You know me, I love my garlic because not only am I afraid of zombies, I'm not afraid of zombies, but you know what I mean. I am afraid of vampires. And they're real. They're just as real as zombies. I've seen them. Whisk it again. Now, we're gonna add fresh sage leaves that I minced up right here. We're also gonna add 1 tablespoon of canola oil. Double the oil, double the fun, that's what I say. This is not an oil-free mashed potato. Whisk it. You're gonna wanna cook this for about 5 minutes, 6 minutes on a nice gentle bubble just to cook that garlic. And then you'll set it aside until the potatoes are done. Okay guys, I got a nice fork tender potato right here, still steaming. I strained it and I put it in this big mixing bowl because I'm gonna use this hand masher. Well, it's actually a pastry cutter, but you know, the butter, this is an optional step. You don't need to do this. You could spoon it out, make sure you get garlic at this point, but what I like to do is blend it right up. I got this magic bullet that I had about 120 years ago, and it still works, so I still use it. You could certainly use a food processor or a blender, regular blender. It's hard to blend real small liquids like this. That's why I love this little guy. So you're gonna blend this up. The noises always get the pup going. They always get her going, right? I'm not going to use all of this butter, don't worry. I am going to use it all, but not for this recipe. What I love to do with this is I'll use what I need to for this small little batch, but I'll use this, I'll put it in the fridge. I can use it up to a month. Just keep it in a nice cold place, like the refrigerator. To the potatoes, we are going to add pepper, about 1/4 teaspoon, or to your taste. This is the point where you're gonna wanna really experiment. Maybe you like a little pepper, maybe you like a lot of. I like a lot of. Salt is a discretion as well at this point. You've got salt in the butter that we made. You got salt in the water that you cooked the potatoes in. So this is, again, once you mash it up, give it the old taste-a-roo and add more salt if you need to. Now the fun stuff. 2 tablespoons of nutritional yeast. I love this stuff. I love nutritional yeast. I don't know if you guys know that about me. We're gonna start with about 2 tablespoons of this butter. Whoops. And now we're gonna mash it. Oh, it smells like a delicious tato. Hobbits love this. They eat it all the time. Bilbo Baggins. All right, we got our potatoes. This is the point of the game where you can make the texture however you want it. If you want a nice whipped potato, keep beating the heck out of it like it owes you money. Or if you like it chunky, just mash it a little bit. But let's just see how she tastes right now. Is this a girl? Am I tasting her? It's weird. All right, let's just see how this tastes. Oh, man. I can eat this whole bowl of potatoes right now, and I'm going to. You're going to watch. No, I'm just kidding. Great on its own, but of course, what is a mashed potato without a gravy? Foreshadowing. Make sure you guys subscribe to this channel because we're always coming up with great new recipes for you and your zombie apocalypse. And don't forget to check out our Patreon because it really helps us out a lot more than you think. If you want us to keep going and keep giving you recipes, even $1 a month goes a super long way for us. So please check out the Patreon account. Help us out in any way you can. Share this video, like this video, and I'll see you guys soon.